Overwatch. Well, it's more like overrated. Actually, it's also known as the worst choice that's ever been made for Game of the Year award, man. Motherfucker, I don't know how many times this shit has to be explained, but there's so many fucking clueless idiots out there that probably need to go get a pen and paper to take some fucking notes when it comes to rating video games. I mean, even the YouTube owner can sit the fuck down, take some notes, instead of having to go fuck himself. And obviously, I didn't buy this game, so the gameplay in the background comes from Brown Power, and he's known for a while that I have been wanting to rant about the fucking game, and he sent this footage in a long time ago, you know, well before my 1,000th video started fucking with my timetable and schedule and shit. So this is a video that has been on my to-do list. Now let me just get this shit out the way. This isn't to knock Overwatch the game itself. I don't have too many issues to rant about when it comes to this particular game. I do have some issues with the shit, and I'll get into that during the video. But the biggest issue that I have is why publications are calling this Game of the Year and the logic they came to by this decision, because it really highlights how reviewers and magazines and websites and publications don't know what the fuck they're doing other than to do something for the sake of making money. So of course, I need to dick slap these idiots across the face with some actual logic. Now, there's a difference between fun and quality. There's a difference between completing a product and ongoing support. There's also a difference between developer-created content and user-defined content. And the majority of the people that have named this Game of the Year seem to have completely fucking ignored these basic concepts. And by ignoring these concepts, they name Overwatch the Game of the Year simply because they know it's going to make their publication some money by getting people to visit the articles based on play numbers. So let's recap this shit. There is a difference between games that are fun and games that are well made. Fun is subjective. It is basically an opinion. People have fun or enjoy different things, and I can feel differently about games for various reasons. I have fun playing Destiny, other people don't. I have fun playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance, others don't. People have fun playing Warframe. I was confused by it, and I didn't find that shit very fun. Some people enjoy Treyarch and Bethesda games, and I believe both of those companies should be labeled con artist terrorist groups and have their management staff hang and gas for creating technical wretched pieces of shit. Oh man, maybe I'll tell them that Trump doesn't like them or some shit that should happen. Anyway, man, those are solely my opinions. Other people may vary. What isn't up for debate, though, is the quality of the game. Does it run smooth? Does it crash? Is the story coherent? Were the voice actors top-notch? Did the game have variety, or did it just repeat the same mission over and over for 20 hours? Looking at you, Destiny. Was the narrative well thought out, or was it a cliche that we've already seen? Was the AI intelligent enough to challenge players, or was it a game that just gives enemies massive amounts of health and ridiculous overpowered skills to make the game feel artificially difficult? See, these are the things that make up the quality of a game. Fallout and Skyrim have massive amounts of content, but these cunt buckets at Bethesda have no clue what the fuck a PlayStation console is. They know how to program for PC, they know how to program for Xbox, but completely ignore 1/3 of their potential customers by creating a buggy piece of shit. Then they blame Sony for not allowing the mods. Oh god. Meanwhile, 6 months later, they roll them out anyways, and they don't say shit that Sony made absolutely no changes to their policy or consoles. Bethesda had to figure that shit on their own. Oh, magically! They realized they could roll out mods if they actually used their fucking brains on how to program. So, oh, I ain't gonna get into that shit because this is about Overwatch, not about those cunts at Bethesda. Anyway, bugs and shit, issues in the game, all games go through that, and that's part of the quality. The Division started out with a fantastic idea. Then it got hacked to all fuck, glitched to all fuck, and then all their bad decisions about the game, between the AI, competitive balance, weapons, plenty of other bad decisions, it led to problems with the game. Thus, the quality of a game suffers when you have those issues. However, people have fun playing these games. No matter the technical aspects, bugs, quality, and all that shit, fun is a separate factor than quality. Fun is unique to the person. Quality is unique to the game. And if you look at almost all the fucking Overwatch reviews, they mainly discuss how fun and addicting the game is. Again, that is unique to the person, unique to the reviewer. What about the quality of the game? Well, overall, Overwatch does have some pretty technical good quality. It is top notch, but the reviewers ignore that shit. If you were to just go by quality, Overwatch is certainly a game deserving of at least some recognition. Fun should not be a factor and should never be a fucking factor. However, most reviews that you see of a game refer to the fun factor of Overwatch. Totally and incoherently wrong for a review. This isn't the fun of the year. It's the game of the year where you need to look at the whole fucking picture. That leads to the next two parts of the game where Overwatch's minor flaws come into play. Completion. Before the game came out, Overwatch launched their beta and I played it and I had some fun. Wasn't bad. wasn't my full flavor of gaming, but overall, I will say I had a little bit of fun playing this motherfucker. However, the issue I had with the beta was that I felt like I played the entire game already. Every launch character was available. Yes, I know about the ones they added after launch as part of the DLC like that, but every power was available. Game nodes were added after launch, but ultimately, the beta was basically the entire launch of the game minus a few cosmetic items. And it's not like you unlock any powers, you got stronger by using a character, or you gained anything other than cosmetic items for playing the game. Obviously, I'll get to the microtransactions in a minute. So I personally felt like I played the entire game just playing that demo. So if you offer me the full game for free, minus a couple of fucking trinkets or useless shit like skins and poses or whatever the fuck, why the fuck am I gonna spend $60 on something when you just gave me the whole fucking thing for free and I got to play the whole fucking thing for free? The game doesn't come with a campaign. It's strictly a PvP environment with a few sections against bots. You know, for those of you who know Blizzard's history and the story behind the game, they had an MMO in the works that was called Titan that they ended up canceling. And ultimately, turned quite a bit of that game into what you see with Overwatch. What didn't come over, though, was any gameplay portions related to a story or a campaign. All the characters, all the lore, all that kind of shit from that canceled game Titan manifested into the game Overwatch that you see today. Basically, they decided to take the concept of Street Fighter that they did all those fucking years ago on Super Nintendo, allow snippets of each character's backstory to come through the more you play the motherfucker. So when you beat Street Fighter with Ryu or Blanca or E Honda, their backstory as to why they're in Street Fighter was played at the game once you beat the final boss. But shit, that was fucking 1991, motherfucker. That was 25 fucking years ago. And you think that is a suitable way to tell your story in today's game world? And that represents Game of the Year material? Oh, get the fuck out of here, man. Overwatch has a storyline, but through actual gameplay of just PvP, nobody would ever get that shit. I mean, it could be worse. It could be fucking Destiny and put their whole fucking story in digital baseball cards on their website. So when Uncharted pours years into a story, when Dishonored comes out with a well-written narrative, Inside creates a fantastic journey, all that developer-created content and story and narrative is beaten by a game with no fucking story. Why? Because it's fun? That's it? You know, Overwatch has some redeeming qualities, and its fans will certainly point to things that are very easily debunked. It has multiple characters, and it is balanced. Yeah, every online game needs to be fucking balanced. Call of Duty needs to be balanced with all its stupid-ass rigs or whatever the fuck, and the multiple guns and perks that make your characters different. Titanfall needs to balance their titans and their powers. Battlefield needs to balance all their classes. Doom, Uncharted, Gears of War, they balance all their guns to be effective. Balance isn't something unique to Overwatch. It's fucking mandatory, man. It's like, oh, well, Overwatch did it with 20 plus characters and each one needs to be balanced. Actually, Overwatch has 4 fucking roles: a tank, a healer, offense, and defense. And within that, each character has exactly 1 fucking gun they can use and a couple of powers. You know, just because you made a fucking gorilla with a shield and a robot with a different type of shield doesn't mean this is something we haven't seen before. You know, Call of Duty has perks and guns, and now they got fucking magic power out the ass with all these stupid ass supply drops and shit like that. But just because Overwatch named 20 characters doesn't mean it has any more content than another game. They just made 20 more fucking character skins. The game doesn't do anything unique, let's be honest. It didn't tell a narrative through an actual gameplay and merely adds it as collateral damage to you playing the content. It took parts of an existing game, concepts from other MOBAs, and crafted a balanced and colorful game. It's worthy of the praise, but what does it do that exceeds the content of other games? What? Fun? I already stated that was merely a trait towards each person, not the game itself. Blizzard has kept up support of the game in the form of free DLC, non-stop skins through fucking microtransactions, because, you know, in today's world of cash grabs, putting cosmetic shit into games for people to either buy and play for countless hours for, or you purchase random shit with a chance of getting something, that has become the way of fucking games lately. Doesn't change whether it's fucking Call of Duty or Destiny, every fucking game is basically turned into that. Overwatch's content relies on a few things. Players to create their own version of a gameplay, since this is only a PvP element, and that dangling carrot of swag that people can either earn or buy. But ultimately, it's a fairly limited scope of a game. Its limited scope was certainly well done. There's no question about that. It deserves praise for its online portion or multiplayer game of the year. I have no problem with that. But compared to other products, not even close. It exceeds its own genre. It captured the attention of millions of players, but the unique content that Blizzard created is limited and relies on gamers to continue playing limited content, something that they got to play even before they paid the $60 for this limited shit. It deserves recognition. but it can't compete with games that crafted unique adventures like Inside or complete suites like Uncharted. Fun should never, ever, ever be part of consideration for a review or an award, because that's unique to the person, not the game itself. And if the only justification for Overwatch is the fun factor, that alone shows you why it should not have won Game of the Year. It was the fun thing of the year, sure. Game of the Year? Absolutely not, motherfucker. And I know after saying that, I'm probably gonna get about 1,000 messages of people saying, oh, you have no idea how fun it is to play as Roadhog or Sombra or McCrae. Oh, blow it out your ass with the fucking play of the game, kill cam, motherfucker. I don't give a shit. If you want to consider this fun of the year, sure. Game of the Year, no way in hell. Not happening. Now, I'm sure people are gonna ask me, what do I think the Game of the Year should have been? And believe it or not, I'm going to answer with a game that I didn't play. I'm sure a lot of people will think that I would pick Uncharted 4, but I would answer this with a game that has received universal praise for how it was crafted, and it was also a relatively limited game, but created a world and a campaign environment that showed off the studio's creativity towards a simple genre. I would have voted for Inside. A close second would be Uncharted 4, but the thing with Uncharted 4 is it really didn't do anything we hadn't seen in the prior 3 games. Obviously, each one of the prior Uncharted games, they took what was successful in the predecessor and they built upon that and added more. Uncharted 4 never felt like it added something. Essentially, it felt like the prior games all combined, but it didn't add anything that made it feel unique. So it's almost like it's a victim of its own success. So realistically, my vote would have been for Inside, a game I have never played, but can appreciate the design and simplicity with a great narrative. Anyways, I have been dying to do that Overwatch Game of the Year rant, but however, as I told you guys, my 1,000 video got in the way of this motherfucker. But coming up for you guys is the return of the Hipfire commentaries. Very next video, we're gonna go back to my Hipfire commentaries, and I'm letting the band back together again. This time we're gonna allow all the people that got banned in this motherfucker, they're gonna get to do the first Hipfire commentaries. And if they fuck it up, they're just gonna go ahead and get banned again. I told them they had to follow the rules this time, so we'll see if these motherfuckers actually follow the rules. But anyways, as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit, and I'll see you guys in the next video.